Good afternoon. Link to the Past Randomizer Boss Shuffle is what we have in store today, and some thumping music to get us pumped up for the race. I'm Bryce Ceratops, and I'm joined with Nugs, my co-commentator. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm fantastic and definitely hyped by this music. I don't know what MSU it is. I'm excited to find out. I'm excited for some boss shuffling. How about you?
You know what? I'm excited for whatever the seed throws at us, and it looks like we're gonna get going. On the top, we have Hitman and TJ Maelstrom. At the bottom, Joss and Malxanthios. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sure I probably didn't, but we're off to the races.
And we have gloves in hand. Oh, first putt out of the way. It was so good. All right. Also, like to thank our two trackers rather. We're the commentators. Just getting this right today. It's Made Walk Herd and Sandris doing our tracking, which we are desperately going to need here.
Yeah, keeping us honest. So just a reminder that the basic premise of this particular mode is you go through your dungeon and you get a surprise with who you're fighting at the end of the dungeon.
We do get some warning with the compass, as it will tell us which boss is there, but absolutely, bosses are shuffled. There are 10 bosses in the game total, with 3 being repeated. The same holds true for shuffle, so we could see 2 bosses, in back-to-back dungeons, like the same boss in, let's say, Tower of Hera, and then all of a sudden it shows up in Pod as well when we go there afterwards. So, it should be exciting, challenging, hilarious. We shall see. We have a lamp, too. Beloved lamp.
All right, and so far, besides the lamp and the gloves, we haven't really been unlocking too much. That lamp is definitely handy, though.
I think almost everybody's checking Lumberjack here, which is good. Seems wise to do something like that early. I think a lot of the overworld stuff is going to be dealt with at a little bit higher rate of, or a higher priority than dipping dungeons, because just that likelihood that we can just not do a boss, for example. So I think we're gonna cleanly do the overworld first.
Yes, and
Oh, Drosty
as
mentioning that this is Chaos Boss Shuffle. So as we talked about before, it is any boss can show up any number of times.
I was just going to say that,
Yeah.
so be prepared for 13 Helmasaur fights if you want.
One of which will be a helicopter.
Okay, and TJ, having got some bombs, is our first into Kakariko Village, and it's giving us the back of Blind's basement.
Valzanthola saving the old man. And the moon pearl's on the old man. Fantastic. Seed guiding us directly there immediately with the glove and the lamp. I dig it.
Yep, an important piece of the puzzle for sure.
We're a hammer away from proper Dark World access. Take that, Aga. Getting Joss going down into CAC from the north side, and Hitman's gonna be checking race game here.
Mushroom in the well for our first fetch quest of the game.
Oh, good. And ironically, TJ getting the quick grab on that one. I'm sure he's thrilled.
Was that? I think I just saw a flute on the library, but I'm not sure because it went by really quickly. Was that what you saw?
I missed it as well. I'll catch it on Melxantholos' pass here. He'll show us next.
And the bottle vendor peddling a mirror today, so we're getting a lot of pieces of the puzzle early.
Yeah, TJ getting rewarded for going north-south here and actually having his money.
So as we're doing our overworld checks, let me ask you nuts. Is there a favorite or least favorite boss that you have in A Link to the Past?
Yeah, Aghanim.
Yeah.
For real bosses, though, Biddy with the fighter sword. Otherwise, I'm just not a fan of Triax. I think he's, unless you're well equipped or over equipped for him, he can be time consuming and annoying. But I'm also not good at the game. How about yourself?
You know what? I always overestimate Vidi. I always feel more confident going in, and I get punished every time I do.
Yeah, he can be nasty. The damage output on that, like the eyeballs for one, an eyeball hug is no bueno.
No bueno.
Lightning hurts. It's just not a fun room.
Yeah.
Unless you have a cape to just make it all the better.
And I wanna point out I did catch what was on library that time. It's just some bombs.
Just bombs,
So-
yeah, I caught it as well. As we tidy up CAC here, we should start to see some exploits throughout the rest of the overworld here. I suspect probably Joss headed up the mountain himself now.
With that lamp and that glove, it seems like that's where the seed is pointing, for
Back of
sure.
Escape first, though. He must be doing Back of Escape first. This was hammered into my head for the mentor tournament. He is not.
I also wanted to point out how considerate the seed has been by giving our runners a lot of armor real early in this race.
Yeah, we will not be death warping, but we got the mirror, so we're good. That's the only time I don't mind getting all that extra armor is as long as it gives me the mirror early too, we're Gucci.
And I gotta say, whoever music this is, this music pack like slams. It's getting me so
I'm
amped
a
up for
fan,
this
I'm
race.
enjoying it. TJ doing his mushroom check. Let's see if this pays dividends here. Just bombs. That kind of blew up in his face. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Hitman doing the same thing, and he'll get the news that it's just bombs in just a moment as well. Josh is taking that mirror, and I assume is heading up to Tower of Hera.
He's gonna scope out a Spec Rock, get his Master Sword, which will be pretty sweet. Give him a little bit of an edge. God, that's like 3 puns already. Here we go. TJ showing us Back of Escape. 3 quick checks. Possibly 4 if he finds the key here.
Uncle
Nothing good.
just helping finance the quest today with those 20 rupees.
I think I understand why he failed in his exploits down here in the basement. He forgot to take a sword and a shield.
He's one of those guys that just thinks money can solve all his problems, I suppose.
I mean, it can solve a lot of problems, but $20 generally doesn't go very far.
Yeah, it can't solve a stab wound from a guard, unfortunately.
Let's check out Hera here. Compass, okay. Oh, Joss either forgetting that the compass has value or just doesn't care.
Maybe he just wants to be surprised.
There's that too.
So he also does have the lamp, which means Hera Basement is on the table right now if he so chooses.
Not an exciting proposition, but you're right, it is on the table.
Yeah. And we got Coin and Kana Burna in the cave.
So TJ knocked out Mini Moldorn.
Yeah, Molder
He knocked out Mini Moldorn, he's doing Dam, and then possibly heading over to Agina, whereas Hitman did Dam, and I believe he did Dam, and he's heading over to Agina.
And we are getting some crazy amount of divergence early on in this race. Holy smokes.
Yeah, almost all of this is new. Gina's new, Hera's new. Nothing doing here. We're getting Escape. Well, all of Escape. So Zelda Cell's done. $20 in Agina's chest. Bottle. There's our first bottle in Zelda Cell.
Yeah, that's not a bad find. It looked like there was blue goo in it as well.
Yeah, I mean that's as far as I'm concerned, that's a great find. Oh, Vanilla Moldorm, come on, man. But having the safety like a bottle with blue goo this early just it makes running into a boss you don't want to do on Fighter Master Sword all the safer.
It is so
I don't mind that
unsettling
at all.
seeing all those eyes on Mulder.
What's worse is they're not even properly centered. Like all the eyes are on his right side.
Oh, he couldn't see the Master Sword coming. Mulder is down, and they picked up a fire shield.
All right, this is going to be our first Dark Cross. Malzenthal is getting it there from the back. Last chance to make all of Escape kind of produce one thing, at least one thing.
And Josh is turning around, heading back into the basement to see what is behind the coffee break room. Not a bad move, considering that you're all the way up here in the mountain. You don't really have any other things to do in the mountain, really. And the game seems it. The game went out of the way to direct us up here in the first place.
Yeah, I would agree. With the glove, the mirror, and the lamp so early. Malzenthal is finding just that full heart in Dark Cross, so we've done all of Escape, and we get just a heart for it. He's going to turn in his mushroom, and we are slowly running out of overworld checks, or checks in general.
Yeah, well, this seed has been pretty stingy with money so far, too, so the Zora area is not attractive. So I can't imagine that Hitman would go on to do a water walk after this.
Yeah, not being able to do Zora is a bit of a turnoff for sure. We still have some of Eastern that we can tackle everything.
Do you know what else we have? And Mass Critic is pointing this out. We have that lamp. We have access to a Master Sword. Might need to be climbing the tower to get our Dark World access.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it. We've had Aga access for just a little while. It is not exciting. But we are still just a hammer away from Dark World. Or hammer hammer or glove. One of the two will give us proper Dark World access.
True, but we're running out of checks to find those things.
This is true. This is true. I think in terms of progression, hookshot would be the most annoying, because that just means people need to climb the mountain again. But what do you see coming here? Where do you think our access is going to be? You think we're going to get it before Aga, or are we doing Aga?
My heart is saying that we're gonna find, something's gonna open up. We're gonna find the bow or the hook shot, but my head is telling me that it's pointing towards Aga for sure.
We finally have two runners synced up. That is nice. That saves some work here.
Yep, and Hitman is going to grab their Master Sword and go into Tower of Hera as well. So all the runners have basically been kind of funneled into the same path for the most part.
Is that what this MSU is? Is it King of Fighters? Is that what I was reading in chat here? That would make sense. All right.
Another
you
Mall
get ice
Dom
truck,
down.
Dave. Just a piece of heart. So that's Runners 2, Moldorn 0. Just keeping score here.
And some super intense celebration music for beating the boss. King of Fighters. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I aside from it being a slapper, just like thematically, it seems to be pretty well put together here too. The hype music's in the right spot. I dig it. Now, speaking of those fake flippers, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna see what's under the bridge and turn in the mushroom, but we know the mushroom's not anything exciting.
Just 10 sticks. We have ruined his chance to continue that fire.
And Malxanthe also. Malxanthio? Mal. I'm going to call him Mal. Letting us see that there's another sword on the island. So that's useful information as well.
Yeah, unless we're desperate, I can't see us getting that. However, being boss shuffle, having tempered would be fairly nice. So we shall see. Green goo, piece of heart. Maybe we got 2 great bottles so far.
All right. Now, not enough money to purchase whatever Zora is selling, but we can get a look at what's on the ledge, and it is bust. Just a piece of heart.
Just not disappointment for us today, I can assure you. Here we go. Josh showing us Eastern. So we're going to see Saha into Eastern, hopefully. Going to give us a whole bunch of checks right here. And Mal following him.
Yep, I think our runners are holding out hope that that this is not an Aga seed. They're hoping the last location the chapter.
And a red goo. That is the full rainbow of potions. And Joss is deciding to save and quit out of there and not do Eastern. I don't know how I feel about giving up those 3 checks. I mean, there's still a chance, even if you go back with Bo, that you're not going to be able to do the boss anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like doing those checks is definitely worth it. But hey,
Josh
making the same choice.
Josh is just thinking not a lot of checks left. Gonna do the basement of Hyrule Castle and then maybe climb the tower, I think. I guess Sick Kid is also in play.
Yeah. Sick Kid is on the table. Well, he's on the bed, but you know what I mean. TJ looked like he was going to do Aga and has quickly changed his mind, realizing the error of his ways. And he's going to go check Zelda Cell instead.
One of our trackers, Sanders, pointing out that TJ's probably actually setting up a mirror, collecting Zelda Cell, and then going to mirror up to Aga.
Yeah, that is smart, actually. Look at TJ go.
I like that play.
Throwing us all off.
Play.
No, that's clever. I like it.
All right, Mal's going to let us know what Sick Kid has today, and it is...
Not our progression.
Just more cash.
Let's see if Hitman heads over to Eastern. He is. Good. Okay, so this is going to be our first dip into Eastern. We'll see some checks over here. feel like Eastern is the play to make instead of Aga for sure. Just again because even if we have Bow, we don't know if we're going to be able to do all of Eastern. Might as well get the checks out of the way. That said, Eastern sucks. I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
We do have the mirror, though.
I was gonna say, so I can understand putting off Eastern because you have the mirror. You could
Yeah.
loop both Pod and Eastern together, even if you're just doing checks.
This is straight up. If Eastern has our Dark World access, we're golden. If not, TJ is making the correct play. There's Book.
Oh, okay. Well, that puts a couple things in play. Might mean another trek up the mountain.
Yeah, they get. Oh, good. That gives us. Can you imagine if it's on Ether, dude? Why did you say that? That's just nasty. I hope the book is for. I hope the book is for desert and not Ether. That would just be rough. Ice Rod.
Nice ice rod. That's a nice find.
That is a huge relief, I'm sure. The only thing worse than an ice rod hunt in a normal seed is an ice rod hunt in a boss shovel seed, where you just have a whole bunch of crystal bosses to kill with ice rod.
Yeah, you can walk into Trinex fight basically at any time, right? And then have to mirror right out of there.
Oh, was that all three items out of?
We
I
had
think it was only two.
so
there was
book. We had ice rod,
Ice Rod.
and that and a piece of heart.
I already forgot about the book.
Batman has not forgotten. He's the world's greatest detective, and he's gonna go see what's over in desert.
He is well read.
All right, and here's our first Aga fight. Any predictions on how many blue balls we're going to see today?
4. I'm going with 4.
I'm with Lumo. I agree. Just one.
I hope so. Well, there's one.
Oh,
There's 2.
sorry, Lumo. You and I lose.
There's 3. Woof. Hacker playing dirty. Wait, minimum 5.
That's
Minimum 6. That is 6. That is gross. This boss sucks. Did I tell you how much I hate doing Gaga?
Is that Lamos on desert as well?
If he map checked it, I don't know. I didn't see.
Hitman did, and it looked like it was Lamos.
I didn't get to switch screens fast enough to double check. I can check the VOD though. Let's see if somebody in chat caught it. Doesn't matter anyway. It's going to be a while before we head over and do Landmo set his boots locked anyway.
That's right. So Hitman is...
It was indeed Landmo's. Thank you, chat. So that's 2 vanilla bosses.
2 vanilla bosses.
3 technically, because Aga was vanilla. I mean, he has to be, but still. If he could just holy jeez, if he could cooperate and shoot a regular ball, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I know TJ, and I know he's got some choice words for this Aghanim right here.
That is the spiciest Aga fight I've ever seen. Chad is saying 10 blue balls.
Speaking of, now we can do desert. There's our boots on Pyramid Ledge.
That's a nice find for sure. That's a nice find for sure.
This is confirmed Dagenham seed. So we will all be getting our boots.
100. To be fair, not 100% confirmed because we don't know what's on the Ether tablet.
Oh, sorry,
So,
you're right. That is
theory,
terrible. Ew.
in theory, there could be a hammer or a mallet or a fetch quest on Ether tablet.
God, you're right. Oh, it's still dirty. You are right.
You know what? For the amount of 20s that have been given out in this game, there's still very little cash floating around for our runners.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of the big cash amounts yet. Like, we haven't seen either of the hundreds. We haven't seen any of the 300s. I think there's 3 of them. Or is there 5 of them? I don't know. There's more than one, and we haven't seen any of them. We are going to see Pod from TJ, though.
I was going to say, because Dark World access is through AGA, we're kind of limited as to where we can go officially. So Pod is the most logical play, and I'm going to assume that TJ is going to also mirror into Eastern at the same time and collect their Ice Rod and book.
As far as Dark World stuff, Pod is the only logical play, but we do have access to a couple different goodies now. We can go do Bonk Rocks, for example. That one's on the table. So it did give us an extra check. We have no logical access to West Dark World yet. There we go. Sometimes getting words out is tough.
That's the challenge, the bane, the burden that we carry as commentators, Nugs.
Oh, this is true, yeah. I remember signing the paperwork.
The Aga Tower climb sucks. I just want to point that out there. Never a good time.
Yeah, I agree. I hate the whole tower, top to bottom, bottom to top.
It blows my mind seeing runners that are able to do it in the dark too. I don't foresee a circumstance where I'll ever learn those dark runes. Josh is showing us Bonk Rocks, and it is just a piece of heart.
Otter Ether. Or as some would say, it's either pot or not.
I mean, it's a binary choice when you think about it, right?
It's either or. Either or what? Oh, semantics, they're great. Alright, TJ is back out of Eastern, and let's see Pod. Are we bow locked immediately, or do we see progression in this first chest? Come on, hammer. Or glove. One of the two. Hammer!
There you go. Big find.
Thank you. I'll be here all night. Day, afternoon, whatever it is. That is fantastic. That opens things wide open, or brings things wide open for TJ, and ultimately everybody, because we'll all get funneled there pretty darn quick.
Yeah, this as gross as the seed has been with the item placement, it's been pretty clear what the seed has been wanting you to do.
Truth. TJ with the intentional bonk this time. Look at that. Still just a piece of heart in there.
So, with what is opened up now, I imagine that TJ is going to be heading into the village of outcasts and doing those checks. Do they carry on into Thieves Town, do you think?
I just quickly glanced at the map check, and it did look like Thieves Town is indeed a crystal, but it is a red crystal up at Mothula as well. So, or well, potentially Mothula. Skullwoods is a crystal as well. So, with the whole, crystal Skullwoods not being overrolled, wait to do it till you can do it kind of mentality, I think, yeah, we go Thieves Town. We go south.
Yeah, or we go
TJ
do...
totally disagreeing, though.
Yeah, the audacity. Like he wasn't listening.
Right all the time.
Like he wasn't listening to you at all.
He was just completely disregarding everything I say. Darn it, TJ.
Well,
it makes sense though.
Yeah, these are more like overworld checks than anything. Obviously, we can't get into the back yet without the fire rod.
I think when it comes to Skullwoods, it's like the most community-splitting dungeon right now in terms of the meta, because half the people are going to tell you that unless it's like if it's a crystal, you don't go there until you can do the boss. But if it's a pendant, you do the overworld checks and skip the back and so on. And if you can do it, do it. That's the way I look at it. And I think TJ is on the same wavelength here. Check what you can check and get the heck out of there.
I was just thinking, so complete confession here, I've never actually played or seen a boss shuffle fight before. But I was just thinking how different Mothula would be if Mothula was in any other arena other than the Skullwoods.
Oh, just wait then. It is the best fight in the game. It is the most free fight you will ever find. Because when you do the vanilla Mothula fight, it's not the moth that's the problem, it's the room.
It's the satanic.
Yeah.
It's the sadistic room that's the real challenge. Oh, nice find.
But yeah, the real boss is the room itself. The moving floor, the spikes. You put him anywhere else and he just, not only is he not bugged anymore.
Yeah, I'm
fun to do.
I'm trying to visualize other bosses in that room. Like, Moldarm wouldn't be very fun. Lambos would be terrible.
It's just before, though.
Cold Store would be the worst.
There's something that changes with the room, though. So the spikes themselves, I believe, break. Mothula isn't bugged anymore. I think the Mothula does have some bugginess to him.
All right, TJ continuing on into Thieves Town like we speculated.
Yeah, Beer making a good point in chat. Only one that sucks is Viddy and Skullwoods, and I, as much as the room sucks, yeah. Eyeballs on moving platforms, no bueno. Plus, it's a tight room.
All right, and I think Josh is going to, well, he's going to go see the man in the cave, but then continue on to Desert Palace, I think. we have everything we need to complete that, and we know that it's a vanilla fight. And here's one other thing that we need to point out is that the Titan bits were on Stumpy.
Armos in Blind's room. That is a nice gimme. But yes, we do have our mitts, which is fantastic as well. This is, yeah, there we go. Grab that cane. There we go, TJ. Make that fight a heck of a lot easier.
Nice cane strat right there.
Sword would have taken an absolute eternity.
Plague One's calling it the Burna Blender.
On today's episode of Will It Blend, we have 6 dancing knights in armor.
And, flippers.
There we go, I'll take that.
Yep, that's a good find as well from Hammer Pegs. So the seed is opening up quite nicely now that we've got to the Dark World.
We've got some runners synced again, which is nice. Our left side of left side of our screen is all in desert. We have Mal doing some overworld shenanigans, and TJ, now that he's done with Thieves Town, he's going to do some more dark overworld. Getting himself out of Vu here. Well, there's our bombos.
Yeah, so just starting to think about what sort of pieces we're gonna need. The flute might not show up, but we're definitely gonna need that bow. Actually, will we need the bow? We would need the bow, yes.
Absolutely, we do.
And we don't know what medallions we need yet for Turtle Rock. But we have a 66% chance of already having it in our pocket.
We do need Fire Rod still for sure.
Yep, and the
Samaria.
flippers are for Ice Palace, technically.
Are for Ice, yeah. Which we can do now, actually. Flippers is... Or, sorry, not Flippers is in logic. Ice Palace is completely in logic at this point. Which is gross.
Yeah, so not too many more.
We do have the entirety of the mountain, though. So I think that's the natural, intuitive place to go. We peel off. We go do East Death Mountain, and then we do Dark Death Mountain right after that.
Yeah,
we got a lot of decks to knock out.
Incoherent asking in chat, is this even boss shuffled? And the answer is apparently not.
Not yet, anyway. Well, we're
an elaborate prank. An elaborate prank just on you, Incoherent. Sorry, bud.
We've shuffled exactly one boss.
All right, we're going to see more of the Burna Blender for Mal's side of the screen.
Yes, as Incoherent points out, it is indeed boss shuffle singular. Not bosses.
Some more semantics.
Hey, look at this. We're getting Ether Tablet.
Yeah, well, we know that Ether Tablet was not our answer because we found the Titan's Mitts and we found the hammer, but Good to know.
Oh, and Hitman making that trip without getting his hookshot first. Oof.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That is going to be another trip up the mountain. So what's roadblocking him? What did he miss? Oh, he doesn't have his hammer yet, so he needs to go
He needs to
deal
go to
with all
pod.
those shenanigans.
Yep, he needs to go to pod.
Yeah. TJ opting to finish desert before going to ice. I respect it, mostly because he doesn't have his flippers yet, and I'm talking too quickly. I'm just a few steps ahead of him.
Just a friendly reminder to give all our runners a follow. They have been putting on a good show so far, and the best way to show that appreciation is to click that Twitch TV game follow buttons.
Oh, I just barely missed Graveyard Ledge there. Barely nothing. Kingston with a shield. How exciting.
Yep.
I'm sure he's thrilled about that.
So that would have been our third shield, technically. I think all the runners avoid one of them. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I think
All right.
wasn't the flooded item a shield? I can't remember anymore. It's been too long. Oh, we're getting Hitman's gonna do our bowlock side here, which the other runners decided to split after finding their hammer. And potion glitching there instead of mimic clipping, which I respect.
Yeah, I was going to
Mimic
say you don't see the potion glitch as often anymore.
Yeah, so anybody wondering how that works, as you are walking to the left, you use a potion at the same time as you're walking left. And the instant that you can turn north, you turn north, walk through the room, and it'll dislodge your camera, or unlock your camera. So when you walk to the right, once you're in the mimic room again, the camera follows you, leaving a section of the room that is now unseen by the game, and you mimic the mimics into the mimic or that blind side, and once they're off screen, the door opens because it thinks they're dead. Handy little glitch to know. It takes a little longer than mimic clipping itself, but really handy.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to get through the rest of the pod, I believe, except for the boss fight, because we're going to need a bow to access the final room.
Absolutely.
So technically out of logic, but a nice dungeon to clear, because there's lots of goodies in the back usually.
We're going to see Spiral Cave here for a new check. Well, Josh finishes up Thieves Town here, heading into the back. I wonder if he remembers that he can already do the boss. Or is he going to bomb the floor? Nope, he remembers. Good. So another thing with boss shuffle, as soon as boss shuffle is enabled, you no longer actually have to bomb the floor. The boss is always in the room. That's why we were able to walk in there without doing the back half of the dungeon earlier. I guess we forgot to mention that.
Interesting. Even if it's vanilla blind?
Even if it's vanilla blind, yep. There's no maiden in her cell at all. The entire event itself has been concluded and the boss is already in the room.
That's a freebie. All right, there's some big cash on the mountain, finally.
Josh electing to rescue those $20 from the back of Blind, or in the basement of Blind's house, or in Thieves Town.
Right. Just a little bit of love and powder from Mal's side of the screen. We could do a nice little bond jump as well. Man, I love that Kana Burn strat. That is so fun to watch.
All right, Hitman showing us a little bit of excitement here.
Right, Pipe Cave is living up to its name. Sorry, Hitman.
Sorry, are we going to do Hype Cave at some point here? It's coming, right? We're going to do Hype Cave? No, we're skipping it. Okay, we're skipping Hype Cave today.
Yeah.
And we do have all of our medallions that are going to be needed to beat the seed, potentially. Because I don't think we're going to need Ped. Is it dead? It must be dead. Hold, please. I guess Fire Rod could be there. Never mind, it's not dead.
I guess it'll depend on what bosses, right? Because depending on where
Just in terms
Trinex
of
is,
even dungeon completion, the only thing that can be there now is Fire Rod that could prevent us from doing anything. And we absolutely do need Fire Rod for Skullwood, so there is a potential... Oh, never mind, we have Fire Rod. Okay, never mind. Take it all back. That is dead.
Yeah, these checks are coming fast and furious right now. We got our Hookshot Cave coming up.
See, that's the way it works. You start thinking, you start working something out, and you go through this long line of thought, and you're just trying to figure out what could be there, what could not be there, is Ped dead or not. Find the solution, and the moment you discover that the item that we need could be there, somebody finds the item. It was all for naught.
It's in the paperwork. It's in the paperwork notes.
Yeah. See, I gotta start reading the fine print.
All right, we're gonna get Spike Cave check here from Mal. Ooh, big find in Hookshot Cave on TJ's side with that bow as well.
Yeah, that's huge.
Now I don't know if you noticed this. Mal just did Hookshot Cave as well, but he doesn't have his hookshot, so he was only able to bonk that first check and get the shovel.
Yeah, it's not gonna feel good when he ultimately last locations that bow.
Yeah, well, maybe not. So he's heading back into the village. I'd imagine that one of the checks he's going to do now is hammer pegs, and he'll be able to get his hook shot. I think hook shot was in hammer pegs.
Yeah, but I would imagine he'll finish up the entirety of the smith chain and all that kind of stuff before even making that attempt back up the mountain. I think most runners will do everything but going right back to where they just were.
Hitman and Josh just demonstrating how bad a memory I have. It was flippers. It was flippers, not hook shot. Was it King's Tomb then? I don't know. Chat. Someone in chat, remind me, please.
Hookshot wasn't it in Skullwoods?
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah. Regardless, he's about to have it here. But yeah, I think intuitively you do as much other stuff as you can before you go back up to Hookshot Cave, because you don't want to concede another trip up the mountain and then have to go up maybe even an additional time after that.
I'm asking if TJ is just a pair of flippers and Samaria away from go mode. Seems like it. We don't know where Samaria is yet. We don't know where Samaria is yet.
But yeah, it is strictly just Samaria, and he needs to go pick up his flippers.
Well, that answers that question. The thief has Samaria today. Josh picking that up. So perhaps doing the rest of the smith chain is not a bad idea before going back up the mountain.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea. So I think I think Mal's in a good position now, strictly just because of that. The Smith chain, however, does not look appealing to, like, I think from TJ's perspective, the Smith chain does not look appealing. So but he's going to get funneled there eventually anyway.
Yeah, with that bow, that opens up pod, which is where he's going now. And that was a blink and it's over Colster fight.
Yeah, so fun fact with Cold Stare in that room is the spikes actually do damage to Cold Stare.
So that room goes from being the worst room to easily the best boss fight room. Just like that.
It's straight up a 2-on-1. I was thinking about it though. The puff balls, or like the cotton candy ball, they should really stick to the spikes and just stop moving off of them. It's just physics.
I gotta tell you something. This is completely off topic, but speaking of cotton candy, my wife bought a cotton candy machine for our nephew's birthday party, and we learned that you can cotton candy basically any sort of hard candy in the world. And
okay.
yeah, we've been having a lot
attention.
You name it, you can cotton candy it. I had no idea.
Like, what about warheads? Do you know what warheads are? Do you guys have those? Do we have?
Yeah,
wait, you're Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what warheads are.
Oh, I know what warheads are. We so we had this Greek, like, I think it's called ouzo or some sort of like licorice.
Yeah, ouzo.
Licorice flavored, aniseed flavored hard candies. And we cotton candied it, and it was incredible.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. I mean, if you like the flavor of licorice.
Yeah, but you're right. Much like cotton candy, Colster got stuck to the side of the spikes.
To me, it makes sense. Physics, right? We're gonna get blue boomerang out of ice. Nothing exciting out of ice thus far. Granted, we don't need much, so I mean, the only real exciting thing we're gonna find from here on out is, I guess, the flute or the cape. That's all that we have left. We know where everything else is. EJ showing off one of the least used bomb jumps I have seen, period, but extremely useful in the right situation. A really clever little bomb jump there on the left side of the beetle room.
That was really slick.
It's a fun one to learn. I can't remember who taught it to me, but it was within the past 10 days, a week to 10 days where I've learned it. And it has its uses. Boy, does it ever. And it's forgiving, too.
All right. I think this is our first check at Magic Bat, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And just a piece of heart. So Mal is gonna do. Do they have a mirror set up? I think so. So yeah. They're gonna walk.
Do they have shovel? I think you just save it quit here to get there faster. But I mean, it's probably pretty close. But he has boots and hook. It's probably faster to save and quit, yeah. I don't know. He does have shovel, okay. Why did I not see shovel in mental? I don't know. Brain is just turned off for a few minutes here. Don't worry. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just confused because, like, I don't know if we saw K45. We may have. There's been a lot of checks. But also, with the boots, he could have gone to the Dark World and then just dashed over and quickly did the glitch with purple chest.
I don't think that would have been anywhere near faster because you have to do 2 screen transitions and the Dark World transition, which is slow. So just either saving quitting or running here would have been the fastest choice for sure.
Yep. Either way, Mal got their Cane of Samaria now.
And Joss knocks out Blind in Ice Palace. Fairly free fight in a slightly bigger room. But it is Blind as well, and he's fairly well equipped with, Tempered Sword and Red Mail and 11 Hearts. That puts him at 4 crystals, though. So we do have 4 crystals 55 minutes into the seed. Pretty comfortable place to be.
So just a reminder, we are watching 4 runners on Restream, but I believe that there's actually 11 runners in total in this race.
11. Just double checked. That's a pretty good turnout for, what is it, Thursday afternoon? Thursday morning, depending on where you are?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah,
That's, what, four vanilla fights now?
Yeah, this whoever rolled this one didn't roll hard enough for rando, I guess.
Ah, but just taking the afternoon, Saw bot taking the afternoon off. Super lazy. Only rolling half the seed. Joss still doesn't have enough cash for Zora.
Yeah, well, all the big 300 ones were up in Paradox Cave, if I remember correctly.
Alright, what's next on the list? I think, well, I guess TJ is going to be heading to finish Thieves Town, and then he's going to do Ice Palace. I thought TJ did Thieves. Did he not do the boss in Thieves? Yeah, he did. So TJ has his 4th crystal as well, and he's going to be off to his 5th because he has Fire Rod. So he's going to knock out Skullwoods in all likelihood. I don't think there's anything preventing him from doing this fight. There's not. Followed by Ice Palace. So TJ is well on his way to 6 crystals here.
But the question
Working for Samaria.
The question is, what's going to pull him into the Smith chain with all those dungeons available, right? Because we know that that's the check he needs to make.
Yeah, either way, he's going to have to go there after Ice regardless, but hopefully, he finishes Skullwoods and decides that, well, he's in the area, he decides to go and finish off the Smith chain on his way down towards Ice.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking, I don't really want to do Ice Palace without the Cane of Samaria, because Icebreaker, is a big time save if possible, right?
And there's really no harm running there anyway. Like, it's not like we have the flute and we're going to save a ton of time. So hopefully that incentivizes him to go finish Smith Chain, but we shall see.
Right. Now, do you think Hitman is going to go into Turtle Rock? No, they don't have the cane, so
he's going to go explore the first 2 skulls that are on the floor and leave immediately. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, they can't. But Josh might be thinking Turtle Rock at this point.
Josh could do a couple checks. He needs his Fire Rod though, desperately.
Yeah. Well, it depends if he depends on the way the layout is, right? Because he could skip the room with the torches, depending on how the keys work.
He could theoretically skip right side. For at least a little bit. Another quick and dirty cold stare.
Luma's asking about a ped check. I mean, I don't think that there would be any point. We know that ped is dead.
It's been dead for a while. Alright, Josh's gonna crack open Turtle Rock. Let's see if he does that first check. I can't imagine he does. I have to think that he's gonna take off. He's got Fire Rod to go find still. He's got Olive Pot available. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have his bow yet. So he's got to go do, the rest of Hookshot Cave. Let's go do that. That sounds like a plan. Super Bunny first. So he's going to get his Fire Rod, then his bow.
Yep, and TJ is doing their Smith chain. So if they follow through with this, that's going to put him in go mode.
Yeah, that's good. So he does
yeah.
make that choice to just walk all the way towards ice and do the Smith chain on the way. That's excellent for him.
Yep, and he's going to get his flippers here, which will be the other item that he's missing currently. While Hitman picks up their Tempered Sword.
I think everybody's gone and made that grab except for TJ. Now we might see a full clear of TR here, assuming we don't have another vanilla boss with Melxanthalos and TR. The only runner to get up here with Fire Rod and Samaria together, actually. Every other runner had some other combination of the three items. Oh yeah, Joss is gonna get locked out here.
Yeah, I was gonna say with
he went and got his Fire Rod. Never mind, I'm lying. Ignore me.
Without that Fire Rod, it would have been turning around right away, anyways, because it would have got locked out. Where was Ice Rod? Ice Rod was in Eastern, I believe, right?
Yeah, Hookshot Chest in Eastern.
All right, and TJ giving us another new check with Pyramid Fairy.
Did something go funky with his? Did he not grab Purple Chest, or what? Did he not turn it in? What happened?
I think he turned the Smith in, but I don't think he turned in Purple Chest.
Oh no!
Chat, did anyone catch what was happening there?
We elected to do Bat, but he's so. Oh, hey, there's our Butter Sword, or our fourth sword. Is it in Pyramid Fairy?
Well, the fourth sword that we know of, it's the Tempered Sword for TJ because he hasn't picked up his off the island yet. And Homemade Beer telling us that TJ utterly loathes the Smith chain. Well,
oh, absolutely.
I got bad news for him then.
He's got 99 problems. Samaria is one of them. Or all of them at this point, actually, because that is the only thing preventing him from finishing the seed.
And TJ is going to pick up his fourth sword. And we're going to see another... Well, we've seen this fight before, but Hitman is going to have their vanilla Helmasaur fight.
Well, there's our Quake and Mimic Cave. So just taking stock of what we have here, what we have done, what we have undone, and so on, we have everybody missing one thing, essentially. So Joss needs to go get his bow. Mal needs to get his Ice Rod from Eastern Palace, which he is probably the least likely the last thing on his list to do after he does pod, so that's going to be a while.
Hold
I
on.
would think.
Yeah, Josh actually needs both his bow and hook shot.
And hook shot, yes.
He needs his hook shot to get his bow.
So Mal's in a rough spot in that they need their ice rod from an undesirable dungeon, and they still have desert and pod to do. So that's a ways away. TJ needs to suck it up and go turn in that chest and finish the smith chain. And that is all he needs for his Samaria and his go. Fortunately, he can't get into TR, so he doesn't have a whole heck of a lot left to do before he does that. Hitman, on the other hand, Hitman needs to go essentially do the same thing, finish his smith chain, but he still has Skullwoods he can go knock out on the way. It does look like he's grabbing his... no, what is he doing? He's doing Ice Palace first.
Ice Palace, yeah. So really, runners are, it's anyone's game at this particular point.
100%, yeah.
Pretty exciting.
Nobody's in a clear state of I'm ahead, but nobody's really lagging far behind either. I like it. These are the races that are fun to watch.
Absolutely. We picked up our flute, Mel and Josh both picked up their flute, but that's an item that's pretty much useless for us at this point in the race.
I don't really see it getting turned in or activated.
Nope, the goose will not be loose this race.
Mal could potentially be in go. That is correct, actually. Assuming this isn't Trinex. Because I don't think anybody's actually checked it with the map yet. They're just going. It's Argus, so we did check. Okay. Thank you, chat.
I've never noticed that they have the spikes in the top corners of the Trinex room.
You've never been pinned between Trinex, one of those heads, and the spikes in the corner. That's never happened to you.
It's never happened to me.
I don't like you anymore.
I'm sorry, pal.
It's happened to me too many times. I've tried to get aggressive and get behind him to do the hammer struts, but man, it is nasty. Those spikes can really get in the way. Less of a problem when the boss isn't so big, though. Clearly. Yeah, just to clarify, so this is Chaos Boss Shovel, so there's no guarantee that a boss exists in this seed. Any number of bosses can show up any number of times as long as it's a valid location. So we could, in theory, and I say this in theory, we could get 13 Moldorps. How fun would that be?
With all their freaky eyes?
I think Moldor is supposed to have what? It could be between 1 and 8 or something crazy, or maybe more. I don't know. It's just unsettling.
Okay, so after Turtle Rock, Mal is heading where? Turning the flute. I'd imagine that that's actually going to be quicker than going to Desert Palace and then to Pod by walking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That is some pretty sweet sync up we have here. Almost perfect. I mean, it's pretty darn close.
And they're out of sync again.
Yeah, Joss deciding to ruin it by running away from the bird. But he's going to go knock out his Skull Woods.
So, Mal is probably going to do the Mire Shed checks and maybe even check with Arcade. He's looking for his Ice Rod. Not guaranteed that we need it, though. But definitely
Mal
do not
doesn't
want
have
to
his
skip.
book. Oh. He can still he can get into the back. He doesn't need it.
He
can mirror into the back here, but he doesn't have his book. I didn't realize that before. Until he activated his flute, he was not in go mode.
Yes, that's right. That's right. The book, of course, being in Eastern Palace, which is the same place that his Ice Rod is.
Yeah. How did we miss that? Actually, we've already established that I can't read, so it's not that surprising that I didn't notice we were missing the book. And yes, Hitman finding his silvers. I don't know where he found them. I was too busy thinking about the book. It was Zora. Okay, so Zora had. Oh, that could have potentially been our first bow.
So, yeah, Dr. Griff pointing out a scenario that could be kind of gross too for Mal. Skipping Eastern altogether and then getting all the way up to Ganon's Tower only to have a Trinex fight with no Ice Rod.
Yeah, so it's still absolutely very possible. Like, that's why I said early on in the seed that it was very nice that we found the Ice Rod in such an easy to get to place, kind of along the beaten path. Because Trinex could be anywhere, and blocking us out of GT is the big one.
Yeah, but what is going to pull Mal into Pendant Eastern now?
Exactly. Since he got around it before, like, he just had the, not necessarily the God route, but he had a better route at the start of the seed, managed to avoid EP altogether. He's kind of in one of those glad I did it, possibly screwed that I didn't kind of situations. It could pay off. It could win him the race entirely if there is no Trinex there by completely avoiding Eastern Palace, but we shall see. TJ picking up his silvers.
Yep. And once we finally got Zora money.
Oh, it's fantastic. Joss has his mirror shield. We're good. He's in go mode. He's in go shield. Shield mode. There we go. We have shield percent.
So what would you do if you're in Mal's position? Would you just assume you're in go mode, rush the rest of the bosses, and hope that if Ice Rod is necessary, it's along your path?
He doesn't have, the way I see it, he doesn't have many checks left in dense, quick, easy to do locations. I think there's some merit to just going straight to Eastern. Or sorry, not Eastern, sorry. There's merit going straight into Ganon's Tower after he does pod. Because there's so many checks there while he's looking for his big key that he could stumble across the Ice Rod and save himself the trouble. But then he's going to be in a really nasty predicament when he has to do the climb and he still doesn't have it. So I can see him
if it even comes up,
to Ganon's Tower, but it is a gamble for sure.
Yeah. If Trinex even shows up at all.
If he shows up, yeah, but it's still that unknown, right? Like, it is still a gamble until you know for sure. Because there is one boss that you still cannot beat, and there is a chance that he's going to be there. This is where, like we talked about before, the knowledge of a non-Chaos Boss shuffle, there would be some huge incentive right now for him to continue searching for an Ice Rod, because the likelihood that there would be an Ice or a Trinex in GT would be extremely high, but since it's Chaos, we just don't know.
Someone in chat asking how many racers are in this particular race. We have 4 in our restream, but 11 races in total happening right now. So TJ is in Swamp Palace.
You really hate Smith Chain, clearly.
Really hate Smith Chain. Yeah, this is no. Does he hate Smith Chain more than doing Left Side Swamp? That's the question.
He's looking for an item while he's here. You have to do it. You have to do it before you go to the back.
You have to do it, but unfortunately, he's going to be running around in circles.
Yeah. I mean, Swamp's more of a square, but yeah. Can you run around in the square? Or does that defeat the whole around portion of it? Again, semantics.
So, have we gotten a map chat from Mal in pod yet?
I don't believe so. I think the compass is in the left side here. Yeah, he doesn't have the compass yet.
Okay, so you need the compass before I tell you. You just have the map.
Yep. I'm secretly glad, or I'm low-key glad that TJ is in Swamp right now, because holy crap, this track slaps.
That's true, and you gotta admire his conviction, doubling down on not returning the chest to the thief. Hitman, having his Colster fight, working with the spikes in the room to get that one done real quick.
I see what you did there, by the way. You managed to roll conviction and thief into the same sentence. I dig it.
I appreciate that you recognize greatness. Thank you. So Josh has picked up his bow. He wasn't able to get the final chest in Hookshot Cave, but he knows that it doesn't matter because he is also in go mode.
He's in, let's call it absolute go mode.
Absolute go mode.
He's in no matter what go mode.
And yes, Commander, you're right. Mal was the first in go mode with an asterisk, depending on if Trinix shows up or not.
Look at this off-color Trinex, or not Trinex, this off-color Helmosaur inside Swamp.
Yeah, it's wild.
Little funky.
So here's something I want you to reflect on, Nugs. If you could pick one boss from A Link to the Past to come back in Breath of the Wild 2, which boss would it be?
Okay, I've seen the concept art and it's Helmosaur King.
Helmosaur King would be mine too. It just is begging to be.
Have you seen the concept art for it?
No. But
you have to look it up. Google it. Somebody did some concept. There's a YouTube video and there's some concept art for it of like bosses that should come back or should be in the game, and the redesigning or like the reimagining of a three-dimensional Helmosaur is incredibly cool. This is such a well-detailed boss. Like it's half scorpion, half like helmet wearing thingy, and scary, but it's got a soft spot in the middle of its forehead.
It's looking like it'll fit right in with the design ethos of that game for sure.
DJ finding more bombs, and he is out of swamp.
Okay, Mal is looting away
chest,
from
TJ.
Eastern Palace.
Purple. Oh, he's got iced. No, where's he going? What is he doing? DJ.
So I guess hold on. We have a game to play for the big key in Ganon's Tower. It feels weird, but get your guesses in.
It does feel weird. Where are you sitting today? What are you feeling?
I don't know. 22. I want to see all the bosses.
Is it in the tower? Yeah. I'm going to go with my lucky number 13. Just stick with 13. Stick to my guns.
There's a chance that Krenix could be in the Argos fight.
Oh, TJ's doing Ice Road Cave. I forgot he skipped this. This is going to be his last overworld location aside from the chest.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So I was going to say, there's a chance that Trinex could be like the Argos fight on ice. Yep. But if the big keys before that, yeah, if the Trinex was, but if the big keys before that, that doesn't matter for Mal.
Yep.
All right, do you want to do odds and I'll do evens?
Sounds like a plan. . Oh, Mal is hopeless today. Oh, just a key on number 1.
All right, and some cash for number 2 and a key for number 3.
The key and bombs, man. 5 and nothing. All right, we're back to hope.
Piece of heart and bombs for that's 6 and 7.
Oh, there goes the big key. That's your 22. We'll be back. Hold, please.
It's always a bad time when it's number 22.
Yeah, I've only got... I mean, when I go by fingers and toes, I get stuck at 20. Already lost count. Oh no, 7, 8?
Yeah, just cash and heart. So that's
what,
checks
11,
so far.
right? That's 11. 11 checks. Good. Okay, we're good. We worked it out. Professionals here.
And TJ picking up his purple chest. Finally.
Ooh, just
12
a
is the
compass and
compass.
12.
Now, will the compass tell the bosses in this particular case? I can't imagine it would.
not in GT.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Compass tells you Yaga's at the top.
Well, now we know.
Yeah. Well, there's our cape. And I lose. Stupid game. We're off to 14, 15, 16, 17. Hopefully there's something in here.
All right. $5, piece of heart, some arrows, and more money.
Oh no! We're gonna see ice something. Please don't be Ice Trinex. For Mel's sake, please don't be Ice Trinex. I guess yes, we do have one out.
All right, and TJ picking up his can of Samaria is in go mode as well. All right. Bob's chest. Money. Hitman is also in Swamp Palace.
He too feels the same about. Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh, but this isn't the original Ice Armos. This is the Armos from Eastern Palace, though. You can tell because of the way it is.
I'm sure Mal is having a sigh of relief seeing that.
Arrow of Destiny and oh my god. You need to stop guessing 22.
I'm sorry, man.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the runners.
Actually, I'm not going to apologize. I'm just going to collect. I'm going to collect my internet points and have my free Rando for Life seeds. Thank you very much.
All of which will have the big key and tile room. Enjoy. I mean, that just
I
means you
mean,
go do it first. So never
I was
mind.
gonna say, if I know it's always in Town Room, that's always check number one, right?
Yeah, this seed was definitely not generous. All of the bad RNG went into blue balls and big key.
So I have a question here.
I have an answer here.
I'm looking at Mal's loadout. He has 7 arrows. Depending on who we fight on the way up, is there a scenario that he runs out of arrows in his cannon fight?
No, there's plenty of arrows on the way up. Where he's gonna have some problems is the mimic rooms because he has one too few arrows to kill the mimics. So he has to get the 5 that are in. I think it's the second or third pot, but he doesn't have enough to kill all these on his own right now. There's 5 in the second, the bottom right. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So he should be okay as long as he doesn't miss these. He's being extremely careful.
Oh no!
You can afford 4 misses. Not 4 misses. I am dumb. Yeah, he could afford
That room, yeah, that room was
that
a
was
little rough.
sketchy. So there's 5. There's at least 5 more on the way up that are easy to snag. So he's just fine. But it doesn't matter because he doesn't have silvers anyway. It was those mimics that were the problem.
Right. He never made his way to Zora.
I just realized we switched over to Bell's audio, so this is fantastic. They're electing to use his red potion, so he's still got a green and a blue, I believe. I don't know what's in the 4th one.
Doss is entering Ganon's tower.
Come on!
Holy smokes, man. Of course, you know what's going to be on the troll dorm.
Okay, who actually did roll this seed? We're going to have a talk with Professor Renderer here. Yeah, quote unquote chaos, quote unquote shuffle.
Commander says in chat, there's no chaos here, only disappointment.
He's not wrong.
Well, we're disappointed with the boss shuffling. We're not disappointed with our runners here. And I'm sure Mal is not disappointed for not coming across Tarnex either. Nice bonk.
Yeah. Showing off a little bit in here.
All right,
and
Mal is in go mode confirmed.
This is a really nasty spot for Helma, though. I have had this one time, and it's just sketchy, especially once he gets to the point where he charges. You can get
it's a tight squeeze for sure.
Making a good smart choice of doing the bomb strats though, because you do have all of the east and west side of the boss kind of safe. Oh, he's out of bombs though. Yeah,
and that kickback from the kickback from the hammer is also making this fight a little
That's why it's so dangerous, because what happens is you go to hit him with your hammer, and he charges you at the same time, and you get the knockback plus the hammer push, and you just slide right off the edge behind yourself. Or you knock yourself in the wrong direction, to the left or to the right, because he shifts, and you're no longer centered on his head. And it's dicey, but well done.
Yep.
Wisely using all his bombs there to get it done.
So, how many blue balls do you think we're going to see with Ega 2? The first one was 1 million.
1. Very few. I think this is going to be quick and easy, and very much a fun fight. We do have to hit him with the balls he shoots at us, though, so maybe more than that. There we go. We have 2 hits. No blue balls so far. 1 set. Crappy pattern, though. This one's alright.
Yeah, and Josh is about to get the news that it's in tile room, the big T.
Mal is kind of desynced here. Getting the double, we only have the 1 blue ball. I'll take my free internet point.
And TJ Maelstrom is entering Ganon's Tower. And Hitman. Hitman is going to turn in their purple chest and get the Cane of Samaria. Cane of Samaria has been a real trip up for some of our runners today.
Oh, TJ doing hope left, not electing to do the meme 3rd check tower room. Ooh, careful.
Yep, pull out your potion.
Getting spicy there. He's pushed him to phase 3 though, so that should be just fine as long as he doesn't get himself pinched in these bats. Yeah, he's good. He gets his torch glitch too. Nice comfy place to be in now. Just needs to get those spins out of the way. 2 down. Oh, 5, getting a triple off that one. Missing the triple there. Got it that time, so that puts us to 10. 2 more. Yep. 1 more. That'll do her.
All right, down good. The pig is dead. Long live the pig. And all we do is cross the bridge.
Get those GGs ready in chat.
Yes.
For Belzantholos, who is going to cross this bridge successfully. He does! That'll do her.
All right. And that will put him first with an official time of 1:34:35.
Yeah, first overall and first on restream. GG's indeed. They're very well done.
Yeah. I bet you we gotta ask about that ice rod if he shows up, because I got some questions for him.
TJ heading towards Ice Armos here, with Joss about halfway up his climb. Oh, what B&O? Malzatholos, congrats on the win, GG.
Thank you very much. GG's.
Yes, good game.
Would
How
you
are you-
like to know where the ice rod is?
Oh, absolutely.
It is in Eastern. Along with your book, sir.
Okay.
Both of them were in there.
Yeah. How were you
Ooh,
feeling?
okay.
How were you feeling during your Ganon's climb without that ice rod?
Oh, that was frightening. That was very frightening, and especially when I thought that the big key was behind Ice Armors. Yeah. So 2 bosses to go. Very frightening.
Yep.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that basically all the bosses were vanilla bosses.
Yeah, someone forgot to roll boss shuffle today.
It seemed like it inside some points.
So I gotta ask, how is your approach to boss shuffle? Are you of the mentality that you might as well just go into a dungeon, whether or not you think you can beat a boss, or do you wait to do as much overworld as you can? What's your general approach?
Well, I kind of like doing more overworlds than usual, for sure. But after I find some items for at least some bosses, I usually just go into the dungeons. Especially since compasses show you the boss in the dungeon, it's nicer to do it, I think.
And it clearly paid off in your case, because all that time you saved by not having to go into Eastern whatsoever certainly worked in your favor. And I think you're rewarded in the sense that before getting into Eastern, you were doing more overworld stuff and then committed to Aga before that as well, whereas all the other runners did not.
Yeah, that was a huge gamble, of course. But I thought, well, after doing Aga, I can just play Pot and Eastern together. And when I found Hammer, of course, I switched my plans again, but yeah. No, but that Aga play was really nice, of course. Instantly finding boots afterwards, Hammer and Pot, and then also the mid, so I knew Aga was required.
Yeah, so Ega was required, but were you expecting it to be as gross an Ega fight as it turned out to be?
I didn't even... Was it 10 blue balls?
Yep.
It was a lot.
I started to calculate it after the fight because I couldn't believe it, and I thought we had 4 full cycles, so it had to be 10. It's really... that was really gross. I was so hoping for this seed to be an Aga seed after that, but yeah, even with boots on Pyramid, it felt okay.
I think it was handled really well. It was a fun seed to watch, that's for sure.
Oh, I can believe that. Yeah, only thing missing was the 20x on ice, looking the big key of GT. But I'm very happy that didn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have, like... My question is, like, would you... I guess you would have to turn around and go back out in the real world, or would you have continued? No, I guess you'd have to. You'd have to turn around, and were you thinking if I needed to go, I'd go to Eastern Palace first, or did you have a backup plan in mind?
Well, my plan was that I was going to most likely play Swamp Palace, but I was not entirely settled on that because I thought, well, it's a mass race, so maybe Eastern is the best call because probably most people will have done it. Yeah, I think it would have been a god call. Most likely Swamp, maybe Eastern.
Okay, we had a few runners dip into Swamp.
Yep, they completed it. They full cleared it.
Yeah, both sides.
Yep.
Was nothing interesting there, I guess.
No, but we had a couple of runners that, because of their personal convictions, they refused to do Smith Chain for as long as possible.
Yeah, that Samaria was also very gross.
There's a couple really dirty items this seed. That was certainly one of them. Hammer was pretty filthy, I find. I mean, there's no two ways around it. You had to do Agate to go get your hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that first chest in pod is just it's always like it's either going to be flippers, it's going to be a hook shot, or it's going to be your hammer or something to just give you like just the least pleasant access to the dark world. But this time it was the hammer. So it gave us everything we needed.
Yep. I just want to point out that Joss is in his Ganon fight right now as well.
Okay. Yeah, and I suppose I didn't even enter a single pendant dungeon, if I'm right.
Yeah.
No,
You
you
managed to dodge them all.
skipped all of them.
That was, of course, also very nice for me.
Honestly, I don't think there's a whole lot you could have done more efficiently. Like, you missed all the things that were huge time sinks just by virtue of some clean routing and good gambles. Really good gambles.
Yeah.
Finding
Yeah.
that flute really paid off as well for you, because that would have that's what locked you out of Desert Palace was the book, and finding the flute allowed you to kind of bypass that one barricade.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, that's right. I suppose if I had to get the book from Eastern, was it? Yes.
Yep.
It would have definitely
just
cost
taking a big fall. Unfortunate.
Oh.
It's opening the door for DJ here to snag second, potentially. Getting a good triple there. I think they counted as 3. One more.
Oh, by the way, where was the second bow, by the way?
Zora.
Oh, okay.
You never went there because you never had any money.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, we only have two of the restreamers, or 2 of the runners on restream have silvers. DJ and Hitman. Joss taking off to go get a refill and pick up a blue potion. So yeah, DJ has an opening here to grab the second place finish.
That's right. It'll be.
He's equipped to the 9s here, so this shouldn't be much of an issue. And there's no purple chest on Ganon, so there's no avoiding it either.
Mal, do you have any other observations about the seed that you wanted to share?
Let me think a moment. Well, as you already said that we had so many vanilla bosses. The start was very interesting. With the start with a lamp and the glove, and yeah, where I decided to just instantly go to the mountain and got semi-rewarded.
Nice triple from TJ. Sorry, we'll just finish up here with these 2 runners because we got 2 on Ganon really quick. TJ, just with his triple on Ganon, has to cross his bridge, and he will finish second on Restream, 3rd overall. With 144.30. Right behind Mr. Scruffy Ninja Tuna, who finished about a minute and 30 faster with a 143.01. So TJ second on Restream, 3rd overall. Joss looks like he's going to be coming in right behind him. Does have to do the silver list though, so that is not the funnest. Most fun? Not the funnest. I'll go with funnest today.
There is more fun to be had when you have silvers.
Oh no. He's having a few troubles here with silverless.
Yeah. So he picked up potion, so he does have access to more magic. Hitman getting the news at the Big Keys and Tile room. Yeah, but how about that big key location, my friend?
Looks like we're gonna get TJ in here, lickety split. There he is. GG's, TJ.
Whoa, GG.
Congratulations.
Well done, sir.
Man,
How was it like clearing out the entire game?
well, it was fine until I found those flippers. Oh my god, was that a curse? Holy smokes, I was on pace to crush this, and then I got totally baited by those things. I was right there. I was doing it. I was doing the thing, and then I'm like, nah.
Yes. So just to interrupt for a second, Josh has finished his Ganon fight and has a race time of 1:44:41 seconds. That puts him third in the restream, but fourth overall, right behind Arya Stark. Oh, with a close 1:46:11 for fourth place. So really, really close Ganon fights there. Sorry to interrupt, TJ.
No, it's all right. I mean, like, I had a really good beat on this, and then Smith chain, man. Like, whenever it's inconvenient to route like that, it's I'm always gonna have a hard time getting back there, you know.
Yeah, and it was a shame because you had so many opportunities to rope it in, but what we learned from Chad is your conviction is you don't want to do it. Your default mode is skip it.
No, I hate it. I hate doing it. I actually very briefly considered going back when I found the mitts on Stumpy. I very briefly considered going back, and then I said to myself, you know what? I'll probably get there eventually, and then I'll just do the whole thing. And then the flippers just took me away from it, and then, yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, and we're joined with Joss as well. Good game. Congratulations. How are you, my friend?
Thanks, GG's everybody. I'm okay. I mean, like, Ganon Fall cost me 3 spots, and had I gone to Skull Woods sooner, it probably would have saved me about 5+ minutes.
Yeah, this was
a couple things that were in really dirty spots, like the hookshot wasn't in a friendly spot, the Samaria or Cane of Samaria wasn't in a friendly spot, so there was dirty items throughout the seed.
And that horrendous Egg 1 fight too.
Oh,
that was
so boring.
That was awful.
Oh, so
10
boring.
blue balls.
Oh, god damn. I'm like, this better be the right decision, because if it's not, I'm gonna be pissed. Turns out some other crap got me anyway.
Yeah, no, we were talking because I think basically everyone full cleared everything before Ega except for the Ether Tablet. So there was some speculations on, are they doing the Ega climb or is a hammer or something on Ether Tablet? And thankfully it was the right choice, but that was a particularly gross Ega fight for sure for everybody.
Yeah, it was dull and boring. Mostly boring. Just boring.
Speaking of boring,
it's already a boring fight, even when there's no blue balls. And then you throw 10 of those in there, and it's 10 times more boring.
Like this seed just loved having you make you stand around and wait. Thanks for that tile room.
So yeah. Speaking about boring, how about all those vanilla boss fights?
Yo, for real, right? I'm like, for a minute, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not playing the right seed.
Oh, speaking of boring, how about those landmos? You get it because they bore holes.
So yeah, that's funny. So I don't know if you talked to Mal in the chat, but he never picked up his ice rod
or book.
You didn't need to go into Eastern.
Yeah,
he didn't do any of the appended dungeons, so he was sweating the entire Ganon's Tower, hoping not to come across Trinax.
That was the crucial thing in this seed. That one thing you could choose not to do, and it just paints the picture for you.
Well, it was the layout of Eastern Palace was nice, such that it gave you all 3 items pretty much right away.
Yeah.
It didn't take very long to get those 3, and then just bounced.
Yeah, it felt like the beginning of the seed. It directed you. It wanted you to go up the mountain, and then it wanted you to do Aga. But then the world kind of opened up, and there was a lot of divergence, and everyone's go mode item, or unsure if they're in go mode or not item, were different. So I say unsure if we were in go mode or not because essentially, for Mal's case, we didn't know if they really needed the ice rod or not. Turns out they didn't. But I think each one of you were hunting for a different item.
Yeah, it's really a shame about that red cane. Oh well.
Did anyone find silvers?
Yep.
Silvers were on Zora. You didn't get them because you had no cash.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, no, but I don't, money was very hard to come by in this seed.
Until you got to Paradox Cave, then boom, here's everything.
And then there's $600. Thanks.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of call to go back to Zora once you finally did Paradox Cave.
No, I don't think I only went back after Ice Palace. And then I was like, oh, I could have single dip pod.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think everyone ended up dipping pod twice. Because the other arrows were in Hookshot Cave. I'm trying to remember. Not everyone had their hookshot when they got to Hookshot Cave initially, so they would bonk, they'd get their shovel, and then they would leave. But I'm trying to remember who had the hookshot and got that bow particularly early.
I did. Well,
Right.
I went up the mountain with the. It's one of the reasons I didn't go back to Smith Chain. It's like, oh, the entire mountain's open, and so is the rest of the game. Surely nothing will be over here. Just once. One time, please! One time, please. Don't make me do that, for God's sakes. Jesus.
Do you have... Alright, so Hitman is going to be entering his Ganon fight here. Just a moment. Josh, do you have any other observations, any thoughts about this particular seed that you wanted to share?
It was pretty straightforward, other than just that fire rod, hookshot, bow logic. Other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah, as far as a boss shuffle goes, not very exciting.
Yeah.
Kind of a really disappointing boss shuffle.
The Coldster fight in the Mothula room, the room itself, we were talking about this, how it goes from being one of the worst rooms, one of the worst arenas to fight in because of the spikes and the conveyor belts and everything, to one of the best.
Yeah.
You get the pin Coldster against the wall and let the spikes do the work.
Spikes do the work, yeah, it becomes your friend. the true shuffle of bosses right there.
I always hope for Helmicopter.
Everyone always hopes for Helmet. Alright, well, I've got something else in the works here, so I've got to bounce. So GG to everybody.
Yeah, good game.
Hopefully the next boss shuffle you have will be more exciting.
Yeah,
Hopefully
good.
there's a shuffle, yeah. That'd be nice.
Good job. And Hitman has just put down the big pig. Long live the pig. And he crosses the bridge for an official race time of 1:54.59. He's 7th overall this day, and just right behind High Ruler, who finished with an official race time of 1:48.20. So get your GGs in chat for Hitman. We'll see if we can get him in here as well. Hitman, how are you? Congratulations, good game.
GG's. Always fun, less locate and go mode.
Yeah, it's
Well,
the best, isn't it?
Yeah, well, don't worry, you weren't the only one. Yeah. So let me ask you this: there was a couple of things about the seed that were particularly gross. How about that egg of one fight?
Yeah, I lost track of how many blue balls there were, but it was a lot.
It was 10.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was a particularly unpleasant egg of one. And then, of course, more waiting around where that big key in Gannis Tower was.
Yeah, that was just the icing on the cake for this one.
That was a couple nasty points, that's for sure.
Yeah, and even the beginning, you get that book out of Eastern, and that just turned out to just be, just to be desert whenever you beat desert. Didn't lead to anything.
Yeah, and even like completely skippable as well. Mal was the only one who ended up managing to skip it successfully, but didn't even go into Eastern whatsoever, and it worked out for him in the end.
Yeah, it turned out.
Even with the extra mountain climb for TR with the flute in there, it does save a lot of time not having to deal with that book.
Yeah, it turned out all our pendant dungeons today were optional.
They're
Of
the
course,
best
we
kind.
did the best kind, except the ice rod was in Eastern Palace, so the entire time we were collectively sweating for Mal as he was doing the guidance tower climb, not knowing if Trinex would show up at any point.
Even the boss shuffle in this one was kind of strange. Like, the first 3 bosses I came across were all vanilla GT. You had Ice Armos and Lammo too.
Yeah,
Just
it
that pesky
wasn't.
Helma and the top of GT.
Yeah, it wasn't a very well shuffled fight.
For a little bit, I was
Chat,
thinking, did something go wrong with the seed rolling?
chat pointing out, made by Walk Herd, who is one of our trackers, pointing out there's 5 vanilla fights and 6 shuffled fights, and then 2 fights that we don't know who they were. Do you have any other thoughts about this particular seed, Hitman? I know that the Ganon fight was also a little rough as well.
Yeah, not really. I mean, just the, beginning of the seed was a little bit, sending you all over the place. And then, obviously, just last locating that cane was not fun. But the rest of it was good.
Yeah. Do you have a particular favorite boss for A Link to the Past?
I have a love-hate relationship with Cold Stare. It's always fun when you get like a nice low percent and you're able to pull it off, but sometimes it can just be really annoying.
Yeah,
Like,
this
actually,
was
where he
that
was
one.
in Skullwoods is one of the easier Cold Stare fights because the spikes do extra damage to the puffs.
Yeah, that was a freebie in that particular boss room for sure. Nugs, do you have any final thoughts before we wrap all this up?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. Just thanks to everybody for showing up and checking this out this afternoon. Thanks for the racers doing their due diligence, clearing out the entire seed if must be. Thanks, Professor Renderer, for rolling a not randomized seed. And that was a lot of fun to commentate. It's always fun to commentate with you. So I'll leave the last words to you. But GG's
I also
everybody.
wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to our 2 trackers, Sanders 316 and Made Walk Herd. And I apologize. It's so hard to say. For keeping us honest. What a great time! Good time all around. Thanks to our runners for putting on a great show. Hitman, good job today, and have a great rest of your afternoon, my friends.
Here's everybody.